And welcome back, listeners. You know, there's a lot of folk who want to visit the Dead City, mostly for illegal purposes. Just the prospect of there being this ungoverned bastion of freedom far away from prying eyes appeals to quite a lot of people, especially in this day and age where people's identities are worth so much to corporations and governments alike. But what if I told you there's another city just like it? Another rusted husk of concrete and rebar, where people go when they're trying to hide something. Except this one just might be more secretive, if it even exists. And listeners, of course, I am talking about the ruins of New Germania. For those who don't know, New Germania was the old German capital. It was the biggest city ever constructed, bigger than New Athens is even today. But it was destroyed at the end of the Soul War, and everyone who used to live there got transported to somewhere else. Where? We don't know. Now, the ruins of New Germania are still there today in the heart of what we now call the Scar. It's primarily owned by three factions: the Astron Empire, Statco Mining Solutions, and formerly Tyrant Corp. The ownership of the Tyrant Slice is unknown today, but people do report still seeing Tyrant robots patrol the area. Now, there is a large quarantine zone around the city. Officials say that it was set up because of a chemical leak, but that's not really what I believe. You see, sometimes garbled radio transmissions come from inside the quarantine zone. Things in languages that haven't been spoken quite a long time. I actually knew a former employee of the Astronian mining zone who said that there are miles of tunnels and secret bunkers underneath the ruins of the city. Some still haven't been unsealed yet. Now, you old heads and history nerds may remember that New Germania had been blown up before, in the early 70s, if you recall. And when they finished cleaning the rubble and started rebuilding in the 80s, they found people in a vault, Vault Zero to be exact, that was underneath the city and people had fled to when it first exploded. Now, maybe, just maybe, this has happened again. With all those tunnels and bunkers, there's got to be some deep underground which weren't affected by the whole big boom. And maybe people live in these. People that weren't transported like everyone else. People who were too deep to reach. Now, I have heard some other rumors of the area of people they call the Forgotten Germans. Those who weren't taken when Astron Gaming zapped them all away to another dimension or whatever. People that just return to their old home to scavenge and sell and do whatever they can because everyone they know is gone. Now, I'm going to reiterate here just how much subterranean levels this city has. It's not just bunkers and drainage systems which other cities sometimes have, but New Germania was built with 700 subterranean levels. Even if half these levels were destroyed in the big explosion, that's still 450 layers. Who knows how deep? Just under there, probably still filled with people. And this is kind of the basis for New Germania being called the original Dead City, because there are a lot of things that can go down in those 700 levels. Entire populations could have set up their own societies down there, and according to a few of my sources, they have. There are, according to them, entire markets, homes, just anything you can think of that a town or a city would need, all down there, and they're all still being lived in. Now, my source wasn't sure if these were these forgotten Germans or if they were people who had moved in after the fact, but needless to say, there are people down there, people that we don't know about, people that probably don't even have any legal identity because they're not recognized by any government, because no one knows they're down there. Unless they do. But that's a story for another day. If we want to take these theories even further, we could connect them to the drains, which are something that's confirmed to exist. For those who don't know, the drains are subterranean tunnels that formed after the Great War that people got trapped in, and entire generations have been born kilometers under the ground without ever seeing the sun. And maybe, just maybe, these tunnels could be connected to those caverns and things down there. But enough about what I think. What do you, listeners, think? Do you think that there's hidden societies deep beneath our feet, living in the ruins of old world cities? If you've got any further information about these, or just have any creepy, true stories or conspiracies to tell me, call me with the number provided, and I'll see what we can figure out. This has been the Dead City Radio Show, and we'll be back after these messages.